Hey, gorgeous ones, it's Brady-Smith, and today's newsletter is in the form of a video, and it's an important one, and it's one we don't talk about very often, and it's depression. So if you know anything about me and my story, you probably know that I'm an emotional being. I used to be medicated for depression, anxiety, insomnia. I'm prescription free now. Yay! And I want to tell you how I moved through depression. And it's a little checklist that I use that I've shared before, but not in video form. And I want to share with you now what my checklist is when I'm in a deep, dark hole. This checklist helps me check myself. It helps me move through the darkness. And it also lets me allow it, because as we all know, no state is permanent. And when we resist something, it's going to make it worse. So here's the checklist to get out of the hole. Number 1, have you let yourself cry it out in the past 24 hours? If you're feeling depressed, have you cried? Have you let the tears out? Have you let the snot out? Emotions need to move. They're not meant to stay inside. And tears are a form of discharge. It helps the energy leave your system. And gosh, I love crying. I love it. Then number 2, have you let yourself feel what you're feeling for 15 minutes and said, yes, I welcome you, depression. Yes, I welcome you, anxiety. Yes, I welcome you, deep, dark, mean critic of mine. Life is kind of like a roller coaster, right? We're going up the roller coaster and things are really good. Things are really happy. Yay! But then how life happens is that we go down. We might go down just as often as we go up. And when we go down, the most important thing to do is to put your arms up and be a yes to it. Because if you put the brakes on and you resist the darkness and you resist the pain, you're going to crash at the bottom. And it's going to be painful, even more painful. So you might as well allow it. Okay, number 3, have you gone outside today? Have you let the sunlight hit your face? Have you put your feet in the earth, maybe sand, maybe the dirt? Have you hugged a tree? Just let yourself go into nature and receive the elements of the universe, right? It's way easier to stay in a depression when we stay in bed all day. And then, have you gotten a massage in the past week? We're human beings, we're creatures, and we need touch. And most likely, your nervous system right now needs a reset. You might be fluctuating between fight or flight or freeze in your nervous system. So let yourself receive tender, loving care. And during the massage, have the intention to just feel what you're feeling, okay? No intention to get out of the depression, but just to let yourself receive. Women need to receive. And then, here's another one. This is important. Have you helped anybody in the past week? I watched Marianne Williamson's interview last week with Marie Forleo on Marianne's new book, Tears to Triumph. And she kind of called me out on something. She asked this question, she didn't ask the question, but she called kind of human beings out on asking this question too much. Are you getting what you need? When really, we could be asking ourselves, are you giving all you have to give? Contribution, for the most part, ends suffering. Suffering can't exist when we're contributing. This is an important one for me. Part of the reason I'm a coach, part of the reason I love leading workshops is because it gets me out of my own way and I get to do the higher work. I get to do God's work and support other women. So see, who can you help today? Notice, are you giving all you have to give? Then finally, also, notice if you are going through a spiritual or emotional, personal growth spurt right now. We need the friction to grow. There's no progress without a struggle. You might just be expanding, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But with every expansion, there needs to be a contraction. That's how life is, in and out. That's how the heart works, opening and closing. That's how giving birth works, opening and closing. And the best thing to do is to breathe through it and just have the awareness on this spiritual growth spurt you're in. There's nothing wrong with it. And Marianne Williamson also talks about in her book, Tears to Triumph, is that depression, for the most part, is probably just your stepping stone to your spiritual awakening. This is an important process that you don't want to miss. Just allow it and see where it'll take you. And then check what you're wearing. If you're in a dark time right now, are you still in your pajamas? Never underestimate the power of a shower, a really hot shower, some lip gloss, a little mascara, and a new outfit. An outfit that's in your closet. You don't need to go shopping your way through the depression. But put on a new outfit and see what that does to your mood. And then notice, who do you need to forgive? Grievances, resentments are like poison that you swallow, but you expect that poison to kill the person that you're mad at, and that doesn't work. So what I invite you to do is literally close your eyes and place the grievance, place the resentment, place the person that you need to forgive on an altar in your mind. This is another trick I got from Marianne Williamson. And just say, hey, I'm laying this burden down. I don't want to worry about this anymore. I'm giving up all control, and please transform this for me. God, universe, goddess, whoever it is, pray, let it go, and let it be transformed on the altar of your mind. And then notice, have you danced today? Have you moved your body? Could be yoga. It could be putting on a sad song and just like letting out some interpretive dance and just letting your body move, because it's really easy for emotions like depression to stay stagnant when we are stuck and we're stiff. So let your body move and see what opens up. And then let's say you need to turn the depression around soon. You might have a client, you might have a workshop you need to lead, you might be going to a family function. Silliness is what I use in those moments. A few months ago, I had to lead a workshop and I was in a deep, dark hole. So I put on a banana costume. I brought back my preschool teacher days and was just committed to being silly. And the silliness created this ripple effect of healing for everybody involved, and my mood was completely heightened. And then if you're still in that deep, dark hole, notice what you've had to eat or drink today. Are you hydrated? Have you had too much sugar? Are you hungry? Eat something healthy and be really conscious with the food and see what that does for you. And then, have you seen your coach or therapist in the past week? Something I want to let you in on is that I've always had a coach. Ever since I did my first personal growth workshop many, many years ago, I've had someone that I've turned to every single week. And so my boyfriend and I, we've had a couples therapist for a while now, and we've worked with couples coaches too. And just want you to know that we got into those trainings, into that support structure long before we had problems in our relationship. It's important to just have that support ready and waiting for you. So you're not just, waiting until you have a problem. So find the support structure now. Invest in that support structure now. It could be a coach, it could be a therapist. Because when we're just heard and we get to lay out our problems, they can be transformed with a professional, right? So do you just need to talk to your therapist this week or your coach? Then finally, never underestimate the power of a manicure and pedicure. I could really use one of those today. And then, have you let someone in on how you're feeling? I was kind of avoiding a friend last week because I didn't want him to know that I was in kind of a deep, dark hole of depression. So today, all I did was let him in. I just texted him and said, I'm so sorry that I didn't reach out to you last week and that I avoided you. I was in a pretty dark hole last week. I'm starting to feel like myself now. If you'll still have me, I'd love to reconnect with you. And he was so honored to be let in that way. And I felt better too, just telling him the truth. So reach out to your friends, your family, because they love you and they want to support you. And then, have you written down or celebrated what you're grateful for? I promise you there's something to be grateful for right now, even in the struggle, even in the pain you might be experiencing right now. There's a lesson, there's a gold hidden under the challenge. And then we also live in a time where we have running water. I'm guessing you have running water right now. And if you don't, there is something else you can be grateful for. But after traveling in Bali, I am so grateful for running water that I can drink, for my toilet, for a hot shower, for breathing in oxygen. Gratitude these days, God, it's just underrated. We have so much to be grateful for, and see what that does for your mood. So I'd love to hear from you now. When you are in a deep, dark hole, what's your checklist? Share with me in the comments. I probably forgot a few things, but thank you from the bottom of my heart for hearing my checklist. I'm happy to say I'm out of that deep, dark hole now. I just had to allow it and let myself be dark for that week, because no feeling is permanent. So thank you for watching, and sending you all of my love.